Good taste is easy to spot, but hard to pin down. You know it when you see it. With your car, you want something sophisticated and daring, yet classic, approachable, but with an air of opulence. That's where the Range Rover Evoque comes in. The Range Rover Evoque is charisma in motion, art and craft in equal measure. Its exterior is a quietly bold expression of Range Rover DNA with a floating roof, continuous waistline, and three-dimensional grille that give it a captivating character. Inside, you'll find a calm, minimalist cabin anchored by a tactile gear shifter where clean lines, sumptuous materials, and advanced technology come together. Make a statement in the Range Rover Evoque. This elegant SUV elevates every drive, offering a new dimension of refinement and luxury. Whether you prefer a modern aesthetic or a warmer, authentic appearance, the Evoque's interior can be tailored to your taste. Ready to experience sophisticated design and premium materials in motion? Explore the Range Rover Evoque at LandRoverUSA.com.
Is your cold making it hard for you to get to sleep and leading to a bad morning? Switch to Mucinex Night Shift for fast, powerful nighttime multi-symptom cold and flu relief. Mucinex Night Shift fights your worst nighttime symptoms to help you get to sleep and wake up ready to go. Mucinex Night Shift. It's comeback season. Use as directed.
This is Optimal Living Daily. What is my outcome? By Joshua Fields Millburn of the Minimalists.com. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year, including holidays. And we're going to get right to today's post as we optimize your life. What is my outcome? By Joshua Fields Millburn of the Minimalists.com. It's not ambition that sets a man apart. It's the distance he's prepared to go. I've accomplished a lot in my 31 years on this earth, and not because I've had the most ambitious ambitions in the world, and certainly not because I'm smarter or more skilled or better acclimated than the next guy, but because I'm willing to keep going, to keep taking action, to keep moving forward when many other men would give up, give in, or give out. When I'm tired and uninspired, that's when I know I must shake the dust, right myself, and advance. This type of laudable work ethic doesn't come naturally. It didn't for me, at least. Rather, it's a formula, and it works 100% of the time it's applied. These days, I avoid goals in favor of directions. But that doesn't mean I don't have a recipe for moving forward. The way I see it, you must be willing to ask yourself 4 questions if you want to accomplish anything. If you do this enough, as I have, it becomes habitual, and you begin to do it with everything, literally everything, from conversations with coworkers to massive long-term goals. Question 1, what is my outcome? This should be an obvious first question in any endeavor. So obvious we usually forget to ask it. We skip ahead to questions 3 and 4, and we end up wondering why we're spinning our wheels. Another way to ask this question is to ask yourself, what do I want to happen? Do I want to lose weight? Do I want to stop fighting with my significant other? Do I want to make $1 billion? Before you can move forward, you must have a vision of what you want. Without a vision, people perish. Question 2, why do I want this outcome? This is the most important of the 4 questions. So important, you won't find satisfaction unless you can adequately answer this question with a high level of detail. Another way to ask it is to ask yourself, what is the purpose of my outcome? This question is the why behind the what, the purpose behind the outcome. Your purpose gives you the leverage you need to keep going, especially when you reach a roadblock. Without this leverage, it's easy to get excited about a new idea, but quickly fall flat on your face because you no longer know why you wanted your outcome in the first place, i.e., you'll lose interest. You might have that initial ambition, but you must also find enough leverage to take you the distance. Sometimes we want a specific outcome, not knowing why we desire that outcome. Perhaps you want to make $1 billion. Okay, fine, but why do you want to make $1 billion? Well, so I can feel secure, you might say. Okay, but can't you feel secure without earning $1 billion? Of course you can. So your real outcome in this case isn't to earn a bunch of money. Your outcome is to feel secure. There's nothing wrong with earning money, but you needn't rake in an exorbitant, arbitrary sum to make you feel secure. To put it simply, you must be willing to change your outcome so you have a good enough reason to see it through. Question 3, what actions must I take? Once you know your outcome and why you want your outcome, you must take action. At first, it is important to take massive action to give you the initial momentum you need to move forward. Then, you must be willing to take ongoing, consistent actions until you reach your desired outcome. There's no avoiding this step. We all must take action. Another way to frame this question is to ask yourself, what is my strategy? Remember, strategy is just a fancy way to say recipe. Once you have a recipe, you can use it time and time again to get the same result. And question 4, is this working? Now you know what you want, why you want it, and you have a strategy to get there. Great, you're ahead of 90% of the population. This final question is crucial though. If you take massive action and are fortunate enough to achieve your outcome right away, then the answer is simple. Yes, my strategy is working. If you don't reach your desired outcome, then you must be willing to change your strategy. As long as you have a strong enough purpose, you'll be willing to change your approach until you get your desired outcome, even if it means testing 1,000 different routes before you reach your destination. If you're not getting what you want, change is a must. After all, doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. When I was a kid, my mother used to say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And unfortunately, as adults, we tend to do the opposite. We get discouraged or embarrassed or ashamed when our recipe doesn't work. And although we make it 90% of the way to our outcome, we give up, we quit, we fall short of the finish line. What's strange is these feelings of discouragement and embarrassment are completely mental. If we fail, we look around and hope no one noticed, and we vow to never do it again. Big mistake. We must fail. We must figure out what doesn't work so we can figure out what does. Children already know this part of the formula. Every child fails hundreds of times before she is able to walk. But what does the child do? Does she try a handful of times and then cower in embarrassment after failing? No, she continually changes her strategy. She keeps trying until she gets it right. That's what all kids do. And now nearly every person in the world can walk. We don't need goals to live a compelling, meaningful, purpose-driven life. And we certainly don't need goals to make us happy. If you're not getting what you want, though, it's a good idea to ask yourself these 4 questions. They might help you clear the clutter obstructing your path. Thankfully, this formula doesn't work only for large goals. It works for any situation in your life. For example, if you get into an argument with a loved one, ask yourself these same 4 questions. You'll quickly discover your desired outcome isn't to argue. The outcome you want is something else. Once you uncover your true outcome and its purpose, you can develop a strategy to get what you want, reevaluating your actions until you reach your outcome. The same goes for every aspect of life: health, relationships, passion, growth, contribution. If you ask these 4 questions constantly, you'll uncover myriad revelations about yourself, and you'll accomplish more than you ever thought possible. You just listened to the post titled, What is My Outcome? By Joshua Fields Millburn of the Minimalists.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. Over the years, our podcast team has launched new shows, given away hardcover journals, and looking ahead, hopefully bringing you more engaging content. And speaking of growth, if you run an e-commerce business, you know how crucial it is to scale efficiently, especially during the busy holiday season. That's where ShipStation comes in. I've personally used ShipStation, and it's a game changer. Their all-in-one order fulfillment system integrates seamlessly with over 180 popular e-commerce platforms and carriers. What I love most is how easy it is to automate shipping tasks and manage orders from a single dashboard. With just a click, I can print shipping labels, saving me hours of work. Plus, the industry-leading carrier discounts have saved me thousands on shipping costs. It's no wonder over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce businesses with ShipStation, with 98% becoming lifelong customers after the first year. Scale your e-commerce business with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to ShipStation.com and use code OLD to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code OLD.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Thank you to Joshua. I agree that the why is the most important question of these four. His example of wanting to make $1 billion while extreme really is true. But even with less extreme goals like losing weight, it could be that we're not succeeding because we haven't thought about that why. Why do we want to lose weight? Is it to feel better about ourselves? If that's the case, losing weight might not do it, unfortunately, because how we feel about ourselves might not change, and we'll just end up focusing on another aspect of our bodies. Is it to be healthier? That's a decent answer, but I think we could go even further and ask why to that too. Why do we want to be healthier? Because that's what society tells us? Or is it because we want to be in less pain now or in the future? Or maybe be healthy enough to live a long life and see our kids grow up? I think if we reach the true answer and then write it down, we'll have a much better chance of turning it into reality. So maybe think about what goals you have and answer these 4 questions today. And with that, thank you for being here and listening through to the end. I can only keep doing this with you continuing to listen. Wishing you a great rest of your day and week and month and year, of course, and I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.